Cortés, Marqués del Valle de Oaxaca, was born around 1485 in Medellín, Spain. He came from a lesser noble family in Spain. Some reports indicate that he studied at the University of Salamanca for a time. He joined an expedition of Cuba led by Diego Velázquez de Cuellar in 1511. There, Cortés worked in the civil government and served as the mayor of Santiago for a time. In 1518, Cortés was to command his own expedition to Mexico, but Velázquez cancelled it. In a mutinous act of defiance, Cortés ignored the order, setting sail for Mexico with more than 500 men and 11 ships that year. In February 1519, the expedition reached the Mexican coast. By some accounts, Cortés then had all his ships destroyed except one, which he sent back to Spain. This brazen decision eliminated the possibility of any retreat. Cortés became allies with some of the indigenous peoples he encountered. But with others, he used deadly force to conquer Mexico. He fought Tlaxcalan and Cholula warriors, and then set his sights on taking over the Aztec Empire. He marched to Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital and home to ruler Montezuma II. After being invited into the royal palace, Cortés took Montezuma hostage and his soldiers plundered the city. But shortly thereafter, Cortés hurriedly left the city, after learning that Spanish troops were coming to arrest him for disobeying orders from Velázquez. After fending off the Spanish forces, Cortés returned to Tenochtitlan to find a rebellion in progress, during which Montezuma was killed. The Aztecs eventually drove the Spanish from the city, but Cortés returned again to defeat them and take the city in 1521, effectively ending the Aztec Empire. In their bloody battles for domination over the Aztecs, Cortés and his men are estimated to have killed as many as 100,000 indigenous peoples. King Charles I of Spain appointed him the governor of New Spain in 1522. Despite his decisive victory over the Aztecs, Cortés faced numerous challenges to his authority and position, both from Spain and his rivals in the New World. He traveled to Honduras in 1524 to stop a rebellion against him in the area. In 1536, Cortés led an expedition to the northwestern part of Mexico, in the process exploring Baja California and Mexico's Pacific coast. This was to be his last major expedition. Back in the capital city, Cortés found himself unceremoniously removed from power. He traveled to Spain to plead his case to the king, but he was not reappointed to his governorship. In 1541, Cortés retired to Spain. He spent much of his later years desperately seeking recognition for his achievements and support from the Spanish royal court. Wealthy but embittered from his lack of support and acclaim, Cortés died in Spain in 1547.